So for today's session, we're just going to hear from interns from HP and just ultimately about their experience. We're from the International Girls Academy, so we're going to have some of the students just introduce themselves really quickly, and then we would love to learn more about your experience, but just to tell you guys a little bit more about IGA. So we're a nonprofit and we focus on STEM education and really helping students get opportunities like this. So from scholarships, mentorships, different type of programming. So we're really excited to have you all speak to the next generation. All of the ladies on the call, they are getting ready to go to college, so that's really exciting. So, introducing yourselves, it'll be really cool to share any advice, any tips.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hi everyone, my name is Akira. I attend Texas Southern University that is located here in Houston, Texas. My major is in business and corporate services with a concentration in marketing. I graduate next year in spring 26. And personally, I just love to do photography. I love to paint. I dance, and I am an activist. I'm a part of the NAACP, and I serve as the position as the chairperson at my university.
How's your experience been going so far as an intern at HP?
It's been going good so far. It's about 3 weeks ongoing. And I think it's been a great experience so far. It's a lot that we have to retain as far as our positions, and so I think it's pretty good. But I feel like they have a great dynamic where we can reach out to other individuals to get support.
My name is Simran. I'm from Hillsborough, New Jersey, and I currently attend Boston University. I'm majoring in finance and public health, and I'm graduating in the spring. Some things I like to do on the side is I'm the president of the club tennis team. I just did abroad in London for a semester where I also got to do an internship, and then just hiking and traveling.
My name is Trevor. I'm from Hitchcock, Texas. I go to Texas State University in San Marcos. My major is computer science with a concentration in computer engineering. I'm graduating this upcoming spring. I'm a big nerd, so I like sports, computers. I've traveled to quite a couple of different places, and I know 3 languages as well.
When it comes to spaces like this, as you know, right, sometimes students are a little bit hesitant or shy, to ask questions. Can you kind of provide perspective as to why the best thing to do is to ask questions, to stand out in every room? That'd be great.
During my undergrad, I did switch between 2 majors. I really didn't know what was my focal point and what I wanted to major in. So I started off in communications because I love to do media. In the past, I did sports TV, at our student organization. But I wanted something more business related while I can still have a concentration in marketing, because I do a lot of graphic designing as being a videographer/photographer. So I did my research first, and then once I did my research and I spoke to my mom about it, I went to my advisor at my university. And I say those that are going to college and those that are in college, it is very important for you to speak to your advisor, especially when you are enrolling into classes, or especially when you're kind of conflicted between what you want to do passionately, choosing your major. So I would say definitely, if I did not speak up or speak out, I would probably be graduating with a major I did not want.
So I actually went into college as I wanted to be a doctor. So I was a bio major, and now obviously I'm a finance major. How I got there was, I think asking questions was a huge thing. I talked to a lot of people in a lot of different, I talked to doctors, I talked to people who worked in all different realms of business. And I think that really helped shape my perspective on kind of what I wanted to do. I still don't know. I'm a junior in college and I still don't know fully what I want to do. But I think taking small steps, having internships in different spaces and different companies is good too.
From my standpoint, I knew what I wanted to do as soon as I got into college. I don't know if everyone's heard, but collegiate, it's where you do college classes during high school. So I was already in that, and that prepared me for a little bit of, what you want to do when you go in and whatnot. So the only thing that really changed for me was my concentration. I went from having computer science to having computer science with a concentration in computer engineering. So it was very straightforward for me. I knew what I wanted to do from an early age. As far as asking those questions, don't hesitate to ask the questions. Even now as an intern, asking questions has gotten me so far. Just asking basic questions like, okay, how do y'all expect us to do this? Or, what do you expect to see from us doing this? opens up just a lot of doors that you didn't even know could be open from simple questions like that. So no matter if you think the question is stupid, if it's unrelatable or whatever, just go ahead and ask it, and you'll probably get an answer that you didn't expect either.
Thank you all. So at this time, I open up the floor to you all ladies to ask the question.
Currently, and I was attending Caldwell University in the fall. So when you guys applied for the internship at HP, how did that process look for you? Like, we had a discussion last week about resumes and stuff, so how did that look on your guys' end?
So in regards to like how I found out about HP and like applying for it and resume as well, I will say during college, I was able to learn what's the correct template that you're supposed to use, which is very, very important. I don't have like a creative, colored type of resume. My resume is only one page, and I may have a lot of experiences working in other places, but it should only be, I feel like, important places, like let's say for instance, like working in retail or so. If it's more recent, keep 3 to 4 jobs that you recently did that relates to the job you are applying to. Keep everything in Times New Roman, 12 font. Make sure it's on one page. That's pretty much how I feel like what the resume build is, because I have had experiences where I've used 2-page resumes and it didn't get me anywhere, unfortunately. But once I found that out, I was able to at least get interviews. And with HP specifically, once I had applied with that resume, that pretty much got me into the doorway of like learning about how to get that offer with HP. And then also LinkedIn is a really great tool as well. If you guys are not familiar with LinkedIn, I would highly suggest for you to kind of look into LinkedIn as well, because LinkedIn actually helped me get the job at HP.
Also, since you guys are going to college, I would definitely say like join clubs that look good on your resume. Like, I'm part of a consulting club, and during like the interview process, a lot of people would ask me about that. So just like when you get to school, make sure you're like integrated with the community, whether that's a club like you want to do like sports or like something you're passionate about, or like an academic club. I think a balance between the two is really good.
Yeah, just reinforcing those clubs, organizations. A lot of companies look for not only if you're doing well in school, but if you're sociable, if you can work as a team and whatnot. Like, I'm a part of IEEE and NSBE, National Society for Black Engineers. That's how I got my internship, was through NSBE, the national conference and whatnot. They look at stuff like that as pristine. So don't focus so much whether, okay, am I getting straight A's? Is that going to help me? But it's accompanied with that good education and then that sociability if you're able to work together with other people.
Hi, I'm Samaya. I have a question about, so looking ahead as far as your long-term careers, what are you guys doing during your current internships to kind of look ahead and take steps to ensure something for the future?
As far as looking ahead, during my internship, it's more of taking initiative, doing things that I know they expect me to do without them having to ask. So, it's more of that showing that I have that drive, that willingness to come here and work, do things, go above and beyond. I just do, okay, you said do this, this, and this. Well, if I do this as well, this will help out and whatnot. So they like to see that as well. So just having that drive, that willpower, that willingness to go out and learn takes you a long way.
It's a tough environment only because we're so new. So we have a lot of things that we are interested in, we're curious about. And I feel like to just have that initiative for them not to say do something, like just not be lazy at all. And as mentioned before, like ask questions. Like I asked my manager a question, I was like, is this a dumb question? And he's like, no, ask me any questions that you want, because it allows for them to see this person is really serious about what they want to do for their future and to possibly lock in a long-term job.
I think stay curious for sure. Like, make sure that you are asking a lot of questions, meeting a lot of different people in the organization, like getting connections. I think it's important to talk to a wide range of people, and those people, when you come back long term, will be like on your team helping you through when you're eventually going to be in a full-time job.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely be doing all those things, asking questions when it comes time for me to do my internships. So thank you.
And can you speak more also like about your overall experience, like in terms of the internship process? Do you feel that it was like a lot? Like if you had to be very like transparent on this call, do you feel like it was like intense during this process? Like kind of take us in the journey, right? Because sometimes as students, right, we get the formal stuff about like, you just apply, you connect on LinkedIn, and that's great. But just your own transparent experience, right? If you had to kind of like be very transparent, was this like, oh my God, like a nerve-wracking process? You had to do 3 interviews, you had to meet with this team, that team, or like kind of like what was your specific process? And then 2, like why did you choose HP, right? Out of all the different companies, like what kind of attracted you about the company?
It's about who you talk to, who you know. I knew a manager of the current team that I'm working on before she retired. So knowing her and her knowing me, what I'm capable of, my past experiences, I had 1 interview. They offered me the internship. So that could always be different too, depending on your team, the manager, who you know. That's why, it's good to ask those questions, get out, talk to people, because you never know who you can meet on a daily basis that can help you along the way. After I got the offer letter, that's where like the nerves and the nervousness kind of set in, because it wasn't really expected of what I was going to do. I was just told that, hey, you got the internship, you'll be working on this team. I wasn't given any details of what I'd be doing. So I was a little nervous trying to figure out, okay, let me make sure I know this, let me make sure I know this. But getting into it now, being in the 3rd week, it's been a great time. I've met new people. I've gotten to talk to different people. I've met numerous people with so much knowledge, more than I have. They don't make it seem as like work heavy, if that makes sense. Like you go in, you do your work and whatnot, but it's not, okay, you get in, do the work, no explanation. But they walk you through it. It's an easy, seamless process. Once you get over those nerves and whatnot, just have that confidence and you'll be just fine.
For HP, I just applied on LinkedIn like with my resume, and I had 1 interview with my current manager. I think HP is an amazing company, and if you ever have the opportunity to like even apply, I so would. I think obviously since it's a Fortune 500 company, they really have like extra funds for like to do things. Like as an intern class, we bond. We went to like the animal shelter the other day as like a volunteer event. They had us meet like the COO, which is really cool, and we got to ask him questions. So they just give us the opportunity to do a lot and meet a lot of people that will hopefully help us later in our career.
In regards to how I was able to do the process of like getting onto HP, it was very nerve-wracking because same for me, like I started off as startup internships and gradually built my way up to, I feel like HP is one of the top companies that I've ever worked for. I will say my experience working at Apple in the past kind of gave me a higher boost on my resume. So those experiences, organizations, leadership roles, that really does come into play when you want to apply for certain companies. But it's not always about what you do necessarily. It could be the act of your personality, or let's say you did volunteer position. I volunteered over 450 hours working with AmeriCorps. And that actually led for me to work with veterans, and that put me in a great platform as well. So you can volunteer as well. Even HP has a volunteer positioning that you guys could probably look into to kind of get your way into the door of like, let me see how the building itself is, or I'm not sure where everyone is from, but if that's something that you're interested in, they do have volunteer positions that you can just get to learn more about the company and positions, and that's a great way to network as well. Just putting that out there. You can network that way, meet managers, or hey, I'm interested. I'm a college student. I'm in high school, but I'm about to go to college. I'm interested in, working for HP one day, and they will help you. So that's something to look forward to. But as far as like The process with me was very nerve-wracking. Like I said, I applied through LinkedIn, and beforehand, I was already connected with Donnell. He actually works with students that are enrolled into HBCUs, and he had a recruiting process, and we have been conversating for a whole year. So he already knew about me, he knew about my skills, and he just kept me informed whenever there was going to be a new position, and they finally had one for this year. And I got on it quickly, and he recruited me to my manager, and I only had one interview. And it was amazing. Like, I was hopping for joy. It's an amazing experience, so yeah.
Yeah, going from HP as a company standpoint, they really invest in you. They really, take the time to teach you. Like Simran said, they're a Fortune 500 company, so they do invest a lot of time, money into you to make sure you know everything, make sure you're learning here, and to make sure you have a good time as well as, growing your skills and stuff like that. So it is a very great company to work for.
Hi, I'm Bethany. I'm a current high school senior at Hackensack High School, and in the fall, I'll be attending Rutgers University.
So I have a question for the interns, and it's basically, what skills did you learn during the internship, and which skills are like the most valuable in your opinion?
Currently, we're still learning skills. As an intern, especially at HP, there's something new that you learn every day. Quite literally, like, there's something new that you see every day, so it takes a lot of time to process it. Skills so far that I think are the most valuable that I've learned is project management. That's probably the top one right now, because as intern, we might all be interns, but we're each working on something different. We're not all working on the same thing. So the project management side of it, I'm still waiting on access for my project, and I could have chose just to sit around and just, sit and wait for it. But I took initiative, did some research, looked at some files. So now I have the necessary information to finish my project within a week once I get that access, instead of waiting that extra whole month to do it. So that's something that's really valuable. That project management, it helps you with time efficiency, helps you with time management, keeping all your stuff organized. So that's probably the biggest skill that I've learned so far here at HP.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Samaje, and I currently go to Morgan State, and I am a sophomore now. So my question is, you guys said that the interview process was kind of nerve-wracking. How did you set yourselves apart from the other candidates that were also interviewing at the same time?
I think it's important to have a really good elevator pitch. If you guys don't know, just have a 1 minute, 45 second to a minute spiel about yourself and your experiences and your skills, things you like to do. Just something to get the person who's interviewing with you to know you. Also, I think know basic questions like your strengths, your weaknesses. When have you ever failed at a project or something that you've overcome? Basic interview questions, and kind of go through that and make a document about that. I think it's really important to just have certain ones nailed down, but make sure it sounds not like it's rehearsed. Make sure you're authentic to who you are as a person, and I think if that is seen by the person who's interviewing you, you will probably do well.
Yeah, and also research the company that you're applying to. So then once you do that research and you know what they're looking for, you can structure those questions based on their needs, what they're looking for, and that'll really set you apart too. That'll really show them that you are willing to do what you need to do. You're very interested in that company. It sets you apart from majority of other people.
In college, what prepared you for this internship? What made you feel ready for it?
Organizations. Those organizations will take you so far. Depending on your school and whatnot, the organizations, they take you through resume workshops, interview preps. They take you on company visits to talk to these different companies to see, what they expect from people when applying, what they expect from their workers, stuff like that. Another thing is just taking that extra time, any extra time you have out of your day, to practice on working on your resume. Make sure you're updating your resume regularly, working on your elevator pitch, working on speaking to the company, researching companies that you want to go to, just putting that extra mile in, because that could take you a long way.
Hi, I'm Janae. I'm also a senior, and I be attending Jackson State in the fall for marketing. Did you guys find it difficult like finding internships, and like how many internships did you apply to like at a time?
For me personally, before making the connections, it was really hard for me to find internships. But once I was able to join organizations and then network, and that's why like you're gonna hear network a lot, a lot, because it's so key crucial. I actually, at my last internship, I was working at a radio station called Amazing 102.5 FM located in the 3rd Ward of Houston. And through my manager there, with her just liking me being a marketing assistant, she actually gave me over to someone else that was working in Div Inc., which is another great nonprofit organization that helps you get internships. And so I was actually in the position of HP or this internship here where they can basically put you out over to different internship platforms and you still get great pay and great skills added onto your resume. So I would say, I feel like that's very key, is to just network as well.
I'm gonna be honest, I applied to probably like 150 internships, probably like almost 200. I think it's normal these days to not have that many internships, and the job market like is really bad right now, not to be like negative in any way, but I think if you don't know, like I don't really know like what I really want to do, so I'm like casting a really broad net. But if you know what you want to do, then you can be more concentrated in what kind of internships you're applying to.
And going back to Akira with the networking, that would help you. That networking could bring that 200, 300 applications down to 50 to 100, depending on the connections you make. Talk to everybody. You never know who you can talk to. I met a team manager from Google while I was at HEB. He came up to, I bumped into him on accident and said sorry. And I seen his badge and I started talking to him right there. So I got a connection from Google. And you never know who you'll meet, who you'll talk to. So it's just about that networking, talking to everybody if you can, and not being afraid to just step out there.
So for the ladies on the panel, I would like to know, are you guys in any organizations right now? I know some of you are in college and some of you are in high school. What organizations are you a part of, or do you feel like you need to get out there a little bit more? That way I feel like I could give you some advice, because I was once in a position where I wanted to be a go-getter. I didn't know what specific organizations to be in, because not every organization is the right organization. I'm going to say that. I have been in an organization where I was like, this is not giving me any mentorship, anything that will help me in my future. It might seem like a fun organization, but if it's not helping you, it's not really like a good one to be a part of. So I would like to ask.
I can answer that. So I'm in school right now. I'm actually transferring. I was going to school in Boston, but I decided to just transfer in state. One of the clubs that I'm looking at joining is, I'm actually on my college's website as we speak. I was looking at different business organizations on my college's campus, because I'm a music business major. So all of this stuff, like our marketing courses, our management courses, things like that, are all targeted towards the music industry. So I'm kind of looking at student organizations, just like general business and management, so that I can have those tools and also network. But then again, I also am going out into the creative world this summer to make those connections on the creative side as well. So I guess what my question would be is, how do you go about choosing the right organization in school for your particular goals?
I would say what you're doing right now is 100% the correct first step of actually getting to know the organization to see if it fits you. And I think that based off of your major, based off of what you just told me, that aligns very great with you. So, of course, take some more time, think about it. Some organizations may have fees that you may have to pay in regards to if you guys are going to do field trips, go out to other places, or if you're going to have like t-shirts created. But I think business related, because that's my field too, so I'm in business. Any business organization is really good, and just take that moment to reach out to individuals that's going to be on that team. Find them through LinkedIn, because then you can see what's their bio, right? LinkedIn is all about what is your bio. I look at that all the time, and that allows for me to see if I fit with you, and that is a good connection to have, and that way you guys can network. So I think that you're doing a great job so far.
Thank you again for you all for taking the time out. I think this session was like really cool. I enjoyed listening to your story. stories. I wish you all like the best in your endeavors. I'm really excited to see what you all become. If you can all be so kind to drop your LinkedIn in the chat so that the ladies can continue to connect with you, that'd be really great. And again, I wish you all like nothing but the best. Thank you again for taking out the time for this opportunity, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night.